Has the party begun?
Yeah, the party is starting.
All right.
now.
Let's do this.
Welcome to Season 2, everybody.
Surprise! Woo!
We made it to Season 2, the Friendlyjordies podcast.
We were up to episode 14, and purely because that is a number that nobody really equates with starting a new season on, that's why we got you here. And don't think anybody was expecting that.
So this is a big event.
15, weren't you?
That's right. And to celebrate the opening to the new season, we're in a new area. Today, Jordan has been... Well, Jordan's hosting a house, or what do you want to call it? We're at a house party.
Yeah, basically because my friend, who's much richer than I am, was the perfect golden child at school. He was school captain. He got all the girls. I just lived here as kind of a house pet for much of my childhood existence. And so when they're out, the hobgoblin comes out to play and lurks out of the shadows. So that while they're traversing around Europe, this incredibly perfect rich family, they said, Jordan, can you water the plants and feed the cat for us? And that's what I'm doing here now, guys.
Free
so
house.
It was a free house. And as what is, I'm pretty sure, basically legally required, if a cop knocked on the door at the moment and said, "What's all the ruckus in here?" we could say, "It's a free house." "Oh, my mistake. See you, just keep the noise down after 3 a.m.
Yeah, so we're all partying. Robbie's over there on a chair drinking some
Reading
tea.
a fantastic book, Increase Your Vocabulary by 3,500 Words. This party is going off. There is a woman in here that's got 4 balloons behind her.
Yeah, it's a drawing.
Woman's But the guy's bringing out a deer. It's a petting zoo.
Yeah, we've got it all.
The only difference is we don't have a clown. I forgot to bring my wig, and I don't want to go back home because I'm still not talking to my dad. So.
Is that true? Are you still not? Oh, my gosh.
Not talking to him, Robbie.
That's what he's doing.
There's nothing. There's nothing else I can say about it. There's no other development since then. It is at a complete and utter stalemate.
Did he get a new shower head?
Yeah, he got a new shower head because his girlfriend moved in and thought it was becoming a bit gross and slovenly that all of us were washing ourselves out of a bucket as if we're just UNICEF kids.
Oh,
it was
my
basically
Lord.
what was happening at our house for a month. So it's really good to have clean, fresh pipes.
Your dad is so stubborn. It's like he's like just your age, basically. He's not like a father in that sense. Like he should just get a new shower head. He's willing to wash himself out of a bucket out of stubbornness.
Just to see me smelly.
Yeah.
And it worked. I was really stinky for a while there. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, so we're going to, because we're in Max's house, who's Jordan's
Perfect
friend.
golden boy. I prefer that we call him golden boy from now on, or just gold to the max.
Jordan's going to be venting his built-up envy of Max by reading out something that he's found in the house, in his bedroom where we currently are, which is...
Without their permission. They didn't explicitly tell us not to bring anybody in for a party because they're very cool parents, but I like to think that I've just made people that were very nice to me in my childhood just that little bit more disappointed in me.
So we're going to be reading out a secret stash that Max has left behind of his love letters. Did he receive these love letters or he wrote them?
No, this is all from previous girlfriends, and because he had, I'm sure this is an overstatement, but it felt like 50. It felt like so many women. Just this time-lapsed harem, never-ending conga line of babes. Was gold to the Max's life.
So they all wrote these kind of departure letters or just like love letters to Max.
Professing their love to him on a continual stream. I've never seen somebody who's gotten so much damn affection in their life.
He is like a very nice, like he is so perfect. Like I've only met him a couple of times, but he's so like smiley and like just laughing all the time and
never really busts this out, but it's perfect when somebody doesn't make a point of this. But when it comes to dinner time, but then you're saying, okay, so should we get, I don't know, the beef chow mein? And then he goes, oh no, I'm a vegan. And that's it. Just one sentence. That's all you need to know about it.
And you know enough about Max.
That is, in my view, a perfect man. Somebody who's just that athletic and at the same time cares about himself to that much of a level. He is basically just the the diet equivalent of using Dove soap instead of Coles brand soap equivalent. It's not exactly soap. I don't know what it is. You get a bit clean, I guess, out of it.
So Jordan's going to expose Max by reading out loud one of these love letters. So let's hear one. Who's it from?
Well, this is the secondary part of this that I didn't really spring on you enough. Okay. That I really want you and Robbie, and purely because, as we've discussed this many times on the pods before, Tom is a wizard. He can deny it all he likes, but we're going to prove it yet again, even though there's no need to at this point, that he does have magical abilities by not telling them who the woman is, what her age is, whether or not she's alive even. I'm going to ask them at the end, is this girl still alive? Keep in mind, Max is in his mid-20s, so the chances are very high, but imagine if somebody said dead. That'd be pretty somber.
So Robbie and I are essentially being the psychic that is called into the detective's office to solve a murder.
Yeah, they're medium. They're the medium chick minus the hair and... I don't know. Yeah. Do you have man boobs, Tom, or is it just you pretty chest out there?
Yeah, it's kind of.
So it's basically just minus the hair. Both of them have slight amount of breast.
Yeah, we have breasts. All right,
now let's read from somebody who also had breasts. One of Max's ex-girlfriends.
Is that her name?
How did you know? You bloody read it beforehand. See?
Magic.
No, it was magic.
I love how you say that. Yeah. I'm really scared. It was magic.
It is damn scary. I live in this house by myself. Can you not hex it? It's scary enough.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay. Dear Max, this is just a letter to tell you I love you. As if you already didn't know that. No,
she's definitely dead. Yeah.
I love the way that we can stare at each other for hours. It's so random that we do that. So very, very random. I added in that last part, but you know.
California.
I did add something.
Oh my god.
You're always making me feel special. Remember that day you made me a cake and I was shocked because I thought, it isn't my birthday. You're the best.
How old were they at the time?
You're supposed to figure this out, wizard.
Yeah, that's right. Wizard.
Know your place.
All right.
It's been an amazing year and a bit with you. Oh, sorry, a year and a bit is what she was trying to say there, but my own handwriting is bad. I kind of transcribed it a bit because to replace that so very random part, she said something a little more raunchy.
Right.
It was,
really?
It was pretty sexy.
What did you say? What did she say?
I don't know, but I can't say it. I was semi-hard reading it.
Nobody knows who it is. We've changed his name anyway. Just say it.
Can you just have something more equivalent than just random?
Something about the fact that every time Max, which is his name, grabs this woman's buttocks, that's just they start having sex immediately. It's basically a wildebeest relationship. Much like those mountain goats in Nepal when they kick the genitals of the female and then it's just on from there on in. It's that basic. And I was thinking that's
she
perfect.
worded it. Anyway, I guess it's
You're not
an invasion of privacy.
Look, I've said way too much and I actually don't feel bad at all. I'm really glad that I did that. It's been an amazing year and a bit with you, and I can't wait to see what comes next. Love always. What do you think her name is? This is where you guys come in.
I think it's Joanna.
Yeah, it is Joanna, but you obviously read it beforehand. Yes. Robbie, there's no need to answer that question because it's already been answered. Didn't you?
Well, your writing is so difficult to read from over here. I'm like more than a few feet away from you. Anyway,
fair enough. It is incredibly illegible.
I did
don't
see
know how I got my pen license. I was second last in my class.
To get it.
Yeah, and the other guy, while everybody else was at Orbit reading level, he was still on 7.
Was Orbit like 26 or something? Like 7, level 7.
Yeah, he had a way to go. I wish the best for him, as I do with this woman as well. What do you reckon, alive or dead?
Alive, I guess.
Yeah, wow. That is amazing. I think both of you have a real future
as
in
mediums.
Psychic police work.
It's so one of those, like she's probably around like 25, 26. Like,
23.
it's
So it'd
very
be
safe to
even more
assume
tragic
she's
than if somebody
alive.
died when they were 25. Yeah. Slightly more tragic than that. So, yeah, no, I'm pretty sure she is. I don't know. I haven't talked to her in 5 years, but I've got the same vibe from you guys as well. And seeing as you guys are professional police, psychic officers.
We can trust that we know that.
Well,
Well, we can't trust you.
it's nice to think that cops, when the door slams after medium's been in there, think, how does she always do that?
Yeah. Hey, did you ever receive a love letter?
Yeah, I've received probably about 1/10 of what Max has in my life. What do you think? If I showed you Max's love letters, and I think I will, just pad for me for a second, cover for me.
All right. I've never received a love letter. I just go really sad and just start saying my...
Neither.
Well, yeah,
How'd it go, guys?
Yeah, we went all right, I think.
Ship
I think we
in
went
shape.
pretty well there, Robbie. Yeah.
Nice. Look at that. Straight out of the box. This nice little cute sponge that's got a inbuilt smiley face on it. Little money bags. Tons of letters in there. And that's just box one. Look at this other golden
He has
box.
2 boxes full of love letters.
Thank you very much. Does this guy...
He
Does
kills it, doesn't he?
anybody deserve that much affection?
I find it a bit weird that he keeps them myself. But, yeah.
Oh, how so, Tom?
Well, I guess I've never received one. Yeah, I've got my Pokemon cards, which I guess is equivalent. Yeah, yeah. It's the loser version of Max's love letters. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. That yeah, while this resembles many people that he has had a very close connection and bond with, Tom has 2 Charizard cards.
Yeah. Yeah, deal with that, Max. Loser.
I don't know why we're being
both
so mean
shiny.
to him. Thank you very much for letting us stay in your house
Yeah,
for a
thank
week.
you,
But
yeah.
at the same time, we're going to do some terrible things to it later on in this podcast.
Yeah, we're at a party. You gotta. So let's talk.
Sorry and thanks.
Oh, yeah, let's do another letter. Yeah?
Yeah, I'd be interested.
Yeah, can you read another one, or is there no others that would be... You'd be comfortable?
Yeah, but I probably should have pre-read it before going into
All
it.
right, that's
Robbie,
up
that
then.
was putting me in a very difficult position here. All right, let's read it.
No.
Let's just do it.
All right, yeah, do it. Remember just to replace his name, though.
Names, we need to be careful.
All right, this one's written on, like, cardboard, it seems. And
Damn.
there's a photo in it, too. Wow. Oh, what's the photo of?
Dear Max, happy birthday, mister. I can't believe this day has finally come and you're actually blank, not going to say what age. I feel privileged to have been a part of your life, to witness you grow so intelligent, so cultured, well-mannered, attractive, knowledgeable and tolerant.
Mrs. Thesaurus.
What a sucker.
Yeah, Mrs. Thesaurus, Robbie said.
It's like she's practicing for a spelling bee.
It seems so mean. It seems so mean. It's like we're just a...
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
enough.
like,
That is
he's
enough.
reading
I'm
out
not
this
going to read
guy's,
the end
like,
of that
poem.
because I've read a couple of sentences down and it's more extreme than the last one. All right, Tom, before Robbie
right,
coaxes
now
me
we're
into
gonna
anything
talk-
else, far out, you're a bad
Please move
influence on
on.
my life, Robbie.
We're going to move on to something that's embarrassing for Jordan, which is the next segment called Bottled Memories, which is where we try and remember... It's one of those things where you're driving along or on a bus and you're just thinking back and you remember kind of a memory and then you kind of have a double take within your mind that you realize that the memory is actually a lot more different to how you remembered it, like a lot stranger or more kind of perverse than than you remember it. Like your mind has kind of like blocked it out in a sense, which Jordan has plenty of, considering he was a model for a year in South Korea, which you can imagine would have very strange things attached to that. So, and there's this one story.
Yeah, there's a lot of nights when I'm in bed and 3 Doonas is not enough. I'm very, very cold. Want to hear one of them?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Rug up a blanket, guys. Listen, because this one gets chilly. When I was in Malaysia, I believe, and I don't really need to say I believe because I remember it like it was yesterday. It was very vivid in what happened here. I had a very cantankerous modelling agent there whose name I'm going to keep a secret purely because I can't remember his name.
Okay.
But I do remember the action. This definitely happened. I was talking to a Russian friend. He was telling me about how bad Vladimir Putin is and how he relocated my whole family. Many had to go to Eastern Europe. I don't know where my mum is at the moment.
Oh, shit.
Something incredibly
Robbie's
tragic
face.
at that.
Ooh.
That was the beginning of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Robbie had the right facial reaction there, which is the classic British, well, it's nice weather today. Try to change
let's move on.
for that.
So you're with your Russian friend in Malaysia.
I get a call. He yelled at me the day before for spending too much money on my model car.
Your agent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though I didn't, I'm pretty sure that I went to the cheap supermarket because I felt bad having a model card. I was not a spendthrift on this. But he rigs up and says, "Hey Donna, come upstairs. I want to apologize." So go up, walk in. He's in his bed without a shirt on, and I don't know what his name is, so we'll just call him. What did he look like? Weasel. Yeah, so we'll just call him Weasel. So I walk in and say, "Hey, Weasel." He looks up at me, scurries back into his burrow, sees that everything's safe. It smells similar, so he
Comes back
pops
out
his head
into
back
his
out
bed.
again.
So is he like
No
in an
shirt.
apartment, like a big bed with white sheets and like
Yeah. He
he's
has
got
very
no shirt on,
luxurious.
and you can't see if he's got
city view
pants on, or
apartment.
what's he wearing like for under his waist? Like,
I don't know,
'Cause he's
and
in
I
the
don't
bed.
want to know.
yeah, right. And you walk in and you're like, "Oh, hey, Weasel, what's up?"
Yep. I think I was that chatty. I tried, as soon as I walked in, there would have been a slight twitch of the eye when I realised, all right, I'm about to be sexually harassed. I was certain at that point that was what was going to happen.
Because you'd never seen him, like he'd always been very professional before then, or what?
Yeah, mostly. There was something just about the atmosphere of the bedroom. It was too clean. There was too much. Everything about it was, he. It seemed like he called me up at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, so it had this nice afternoon cityscape sun glare over the windows outside. It was too
disgusting.
romantic.
So yeah, okay. So he calls you into his bedroom, and he's lying in his bed, and you're a bit worried.
Yep, but I like most girls, just put on a pretty smile and act happy. And he says, "So I felt I was a bit mean to you yesterday, but I got you some nice a present. Open up the closet." I open up his bedroom closet, and in there is some bizarre Aladdin pants that are a little too silken. And then I go, "Oh, thanks." Look at the tag of it. The brand is Sexy Beach.
Right.
All right. I thought that was a little more alarming, but everybody else is just like, Sexy Beach, it's a really good brand.
Yeah, I love that brand. Yeah. So are they like kind of see-through Aladdin pants?
Yeah.
Like silky to the point that you can see through them very easily.
Yeah, so you would be able to see the silhouette of a penis and some testicles, and not to the degree where you'd think, palm tree or penis? I can't tell. You'd be able to tell it's a penis.
Right. Sexy Beach.
Had to make the distinction.
yeah. Often making that distinction. Yeah.
Yeah, even the most naive person on the planet would be crying at that point when they're putting it on. So I go, okay, thanks, and then I walk out, trying to rush out, and then he says, "Hey," and this is what I imagine is the key line of somebody who is about to sexually harass someone. He says, "What's the rush?"
Oh.
I go, nothing. You can try on those pants if you want. And so I do, in front of him, and then he's just like, and then he's just like, no. Take your pants off and then put them over. I want to see if it fits right. And then at that point, I just went, all right, well, this is just like, I did not expect that I'd ever be in this situation. I am not a 14-year-old girl that is going to ride into Dolly. I'm 21 at this point and a male. I didn't realize that this happened to people like me. And then at that point, I just go, okay, all right, I got to go now. See ya. What was that? I don't even remember his name. Like, Mikhail, you saying something? He was 2 levels down, and he would definitely know that he was 2 levels down. He pays for the rent of that apartment, but I'm pretty sure that I used him as an excuse to run out. Yeah.
Oh my
I've
God.
never felt so cheap.
It's pretty horrific.
Yeah.
Is it?
Put them out. Pointing at the pants. I guess,
Yeah.
yeah.
Meet him ever again?
Yeah. I had another month there. We just acted as if it never happened. But he knew what he did, monster.
Man, what a memory.
But yeah, at the same time, while I was running out, going down the lift, I was thinking, that was actually a really cool life experience. Now I know what it's like to be a girl in the modelling world in New York.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, I love that story. That's like, yeah, it's one of my favorite, one of your, like, modelling stories. So it's like, yeah, I think it's a great experience. I'm glad it happened to you.
I love that is my version of saying to my grandkids when somebody goes, did I ever tell you about when I scaled Mount Everest? That's mine. It's just like, did I ever tell you when a creepy weasel-like Malaysian man tried to see me naked?
Yeah. Like Aladdin, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Not even naked. He had a weird Saudi Arabian prince fetish. Pervert. It's very brave of me to... Yeah, obviously he was gay. Right. Why would you go for me? There was 20 incredibly attractive chicks, a level even above me. It would have taken less time to bring them in. And then I found out later that one of the guys that was there for 5 months and wasn't racking in any cash at all, usually your contract expires after 3 and then they send you home if you haven't made anything, but he was there for 5, didn't earn a cent. Had sex with him on the first day.
There, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. It's rife. In Hollywood as well, apparently it's rife, right?
Yeah. I don't want to
name names, but they're
No,
celebrities.
I want to name names. It was Will Smith. It was Will Smith that this is the rumor about.
Well, yeah, so Jordan claims that Will Smith is like just known, like it's not even a secret in Hollywood. It's just kind of just no one would say it to his face, but everyone just knows that Will Smith is gay and that he's what is it? That's pretty much it. His family's a beard.
I know, Robbie, I know that this must be really difficult for you to digest, and it's turned your world upside down, which is really bizarre that just knowing that someone's gay does do that. But Robbie, come in here. Tell us what you think. What do you think about that news?
Yeah.
You're right.
It's new. It's news.
It's not news because we don't know if it's true. It's just
I heard about Kevin
allegation.
Spacey recently, actually.
Yeah, we heard that yesterday.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that, and it makes sense. But I also heard that nobody knows anything about his personal life. Like
Kevin Spacey's.
Yeah, apparently he's just blank.
Yeah.
So it makes sense though, doesn't it? Like I could believe that about Will Smith.
Why?
Yeah, so could I.
I don't see it. Why like? There's nothing.
I could just see him being comfortable. I could just see him. I don't know.
Fresh Prince.
I don't know what else to say.
Something about the word fresh.
I
don't know why that is, but that was a nice little 2-pronged segment that you got there for the price of one.
Yeah, all right,
where we discussed.
Yeah, I knew about Will Smith.
How do you think? What do you think about it?
Well, I just don't think it's true necessarily.
Oh, right.
There's the other one. What's the other one? The best one is
Nah, that's a bit too extreme for the pod.
Oh, okay, we're talking about it. All right.
There was a lot of very shady things being discussed in the first 2 segments, but as we said, the reason why it's season 2 now is because this is an extreme, newer, faster, more bold pod.
Season. Yeah, so we're going to be getting twice as controversial this season, and you know whether you like it or not, it's happening. So now to
Double
do that,
the amount.
we're going
If you
to
didn't like getting
Goosebumps.
punched in the face once, you're going to get punched in the face twice.
Yeah.
Keep listening.
So now we're doing chapter 3 of Goosebumps, or is it chapter 4? Chapter 4.
Proudly brought to you by Odd Socks, the new sponsor.
Oh, no, not yet. But yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's Odd Pairs. Yeah, Odd Pairs to be sponsored, but currently Cheesy Flops. But
the most delicious footwear in town, unless you include platypus shoes, and you can vouch for that. And if you can vouch for saying that platypus are more delicious than cheese, you sicko.
yeah, Cheesy Flops is our Iranian sponsor who sent Jordan a pair of thongs that look like cheddar cheese, Swiss cheese, sorry, for nothing. So.
And I'm not sure if he's actually Iranian or not, but he did have the flag in the background. But when he kept saying every sentence in capitals, the Ayatollah demands you send me a photograph. Do they actually talk like that, or is that just a caricature?
Maybe it's just a caricature.
Yeah, I don't think he's Iranian.
Oh my god, we thought this we've said this multiple weeks. All right, Robbie, chapter 4.
Closer inspection.
He probably
Give me some
isn't.
credit.
Help me! Casey's whole body shook as if an electrical current were charging through him. His head jerked on his shoulders, and his eyes looked wild and dazed. Please! Margaret and Diane stared in open-mouthed horror. Margaret was the first to move. She lunged at Casey and reached out to try to pull him away from the glass. "Margaret, don't!" Diane screamed. "Don't touch him!" "But we have to do something!" Margaret cried. It took both girls a while to realize that Casey had stopped shaking and was laughing. "Casey?" Margaret asked, staring at him, her terrified expression fading to astonishment. He was leaning against the glass, his body still now, his mouth wrapped in a broad, mischievous grin. "Gotcha!" he declared, and then began to laugh even harder, pointing at them and repeating the phrase through his triumphant laughter. "Gotcha! Gotcha!" "That wasn't funny," Margaret screamed. "You were faking it! I don't believe it!" Diane cried, her face as pale as the white lights above them, her lower lip trembling. Both girls leapt onto Casey and pushed him to the floor. Margaret sat on top of him while Diane held his shoulders down. "Gotcha! Gotcha!" he continued, stopping only when Margaret tickled his stomach so hard he couldn't talk. "You rat!" Diane cried. "You little rat!" The free-for-all was brought to a sudden halt by a low moan from across the room. All three kids raised their heads and stared in the direction of the sound. The large basement was silent now, except for their heavy breathing. "What was that?" Diane whispered. They listened. Another low moan, a mournful sound muffled like air through a saxophone. The tendrils of a tree-like plant suddenly drooped, like snakes lowering themselves to the ground. Another low, sad moan. "It's the plants," Casey said, his expression frightened now. He pushed his sister off him and climbed to his feet, brushing back his disheveled blonde hair as he stood up. "Plants don't cry and moan," Diane said, her eyes on the vast trough of plants that filled the room. "These do," Margaret said. Tendrils moved like human arms, shifting their position. They could hear breathing again, slow, steady breathing, then a sigh like air escaping. "Let's get out of here," Casey said, edging toward the stairs. "It's definitely creepy down here," Diane said, following him, her eyes remaining on the shifting, moaning plants. "I'm sure Dad could explain it," Margaret said. Her words were calm, but her voice trembled, and she was backing out of the room, following Diane and Casey. "Your dad is weird," Diane said, reaching the doorway. "No, he isn't," Casey quickly insisted. "He's doing important work here." A tall tree-like plant sighed and appeared to bend toward them, raising its tendrils as if beckoning to them, calling them back. "Let's just get out of here," Margaret exclaimed. All three of them were out of breath by the time they ran up the stairs. Casey closed the door tightly, making sure it clicked shut. "Weird," Diane repeated, playing nervously with a strand of her long red hair. "Definitely weird." It was her word of the day, but Margaret had to admit it was appropriate. "Well, Dad warned us not to go down there," Margaret said, struggling to catch her breath. "I guess he knew it looked scary to us and we wouldn't understand." "I'm getting out of here," Diane said, only half kidding. She stepped out of the screen door and turned back toward them. "Want to go over the math later?" "Yeah, sure," Margaret said, still thinking about the moaning, shifting plants. Some of them had seemed to be reaching out to them, crying out to them. But of course that was impossible. "Later," Diane said, and headed at a trot down the drive. Just as she disappeared, their father's dark blue station wagon turned the corner and started up the drive. "Back from the airport," Margaret said. She turned from the door back to Casey a few yards behind her in the hallway. "Is the basement door closed?" "Yeah," Casey replied, looking again to make sure. "No way Dad will know we..." He stopped. His mouth dropped open, but no sound came out. His face went pale. "My t-shirt!" Casey exclaimed, slapping his bare chest. "I left it in the basement!"
Wow.
Why was he so scared about the t-shirt being left in the
Because
basement?
Dad will find out that they were down there. And the name of the book is Stay Out of the Basement.
Yeah, I guess that's why you should stop playing with a milk bottle and listen to the story, kids.
Yeah, I actually really zoned out of that during a lot of that.
You were checking your phone.
Yeah.
I do not have a smartphone. I just have this hilarious ring for mice that you'd find on a juice bottle.
Yeah.
It was entertaining enough for my fingers.
What happened, Robbie? What happened in that? They went down and some plants grabbed at them and they ran away. And
Yeah, I think pretty much one of them just joked around about being caught, and they came upstairs and you didn't have a shit.
yeah. Yep.
Captivating stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Hopefully it's leading up to something.
Yeah,
I think it must be. I mean,
surely.
the reviews are all unanimous, aren't they?
Yeah, R.L. Stein's
Scariest.
masterpiece is Stay Out of the Basement.
Have you guys seen the episode?
No.
It's on YouTube.
Oh, really? Did you watch it?
Ooh.
I started it, but I didn't.
Viewer beware, do we dare be scared? Did that make sense? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Should we go watch the Goosebumps video after this?
I don't know if I want to spoil it.
Yeah, I suppose. We could discuss this at our own time. What's the next segment,
All
Tom?
right, yeah. We could, yeah. All right, well, now we're going to go into the most controversial segment and the longest running segment in a while, which is Taboo Tightrope.
Hi, this is Robbie the Sound Guy. I'm sorry to inform you that this week we've had to remove the Taboo Tightrope because the views expressed are just too controversial. It has nothing to do with Cheesy Flops dumping us as a sponsor. I've recorded my phone conversations with Tom and Jordan about their perspectives on this situation. Here they are.
Well, here's my spin on the issue. I really enjoy my views, obviously, and I think that I don't know why anybody would ever say anything that they don't agree with. So obviously I wholeheartedly think that it was a great segment. That's all fine. However, we realised that what we were saying borderlined on narcissism, so it's probably not a good idea to post that as something that you stick by as your convictions. So we're not going to do that, and it's got nothing to do with our fabulous sponsor, Cheesy Flops, whose name just escaped me momentarily for a second there, but I do like their sandals very much.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's 100% definitely not their fault, even though we gave them an airing of the podcast episode beforehand, and we had a briefing to change of email, but it was not them, it's all us. Hello?
Hey Tom, it's Robbie. How are you?
Hey man, I'm working, what's up?
I'm just wondering, just quickly, what your perspective is on this, removal of the Taboo Tightrope situation.
Well, yeah, it's pretty annoying, but can I call you back about it later? I'm pretty busy.
Right. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah?
Okay. Bye.
What are you talking about? That's important, mate. Let me call you back in bed.
Are you sure? Look, I'm just recording
Yeah,
you.
I'm fine. I'll call you back.
I just have to record this. Jordan and Tom there. Again, we'd like to sincerely apologise for this inconvenience. It is a bit annoying. And on a quick side note, we'd like to apologise to Wes Carr. His publicist got in contact with us and is threatening legal action if we don't say that. Now back to the regular programming.
Tom, can we please go to the next segment, please?
All right, well, now we're going to be messing up Max's house.
So it's come to this, has it? We've almost finished the free house edition of the podcast, Season 2, the most extreme season yet, and I'm pretty sure that this Taboo Tightrope has proven that beyond a shadow of a doubt. I don't think we can get any more serious than that without it being defined a hate crime and is going to jail. I think that we just averted a court case. It's pretty damn extreme. Big step up from the last season.
Yeah, great
really
start
feel
to
that
season 2. And it's going to get worse every week.
I don't know why we're so into. Why does this pod have a death wish? It's not particularly. All of us seem
it's
to
such
want
a
to
great segment in my mind because it just seems like we don't have to do it, and it's not even controversial. Like no one seems to comment about it or have any issue with it. It's just like we just want it to fuck up. Yeah.
Non-stop sweat beads the whole time. Every last segment. I don't even know what I said, and that makes me more scared when thinking back on it.
Yeah.
Is that what happened to you? You sit there fretting, then you listen to it on Sunday, and you think, Not as bad as what I thought, not as good as what I hoped. It's always about there, isn't it? Nice 5 out of 10. Just enough for you to not get angry at Robbie for next week.
All right, so this segment we've been having a party all night in this free house with no parents or anyone, so...
Yeah, rules are for fools.
Another self-help tip with the rhyming.
It helps you remember.
Yeah. So we're now going to just trash the place because in every party there's something has to get broken.
And so far we've been reckless enough to not put our tea on a coaster. We never do that in our house anyway, but it probably would have been good manners to do that. So we've got the ball rolling, but how are we going to step it up from there?
So I'm going to start it off by dropping a wet tea bag on carpet.
All right, so Tom has elevated. It's down! It's on the carpet! Someone get a towel!
Kind of splashed a little bit.
All right, and Tom has put it back into the tea cup because he felt uncomfortable with it there. And
really
everybody
bad, yeah.
does always. That is an incredibly gross sight. Walking into a room and there's a wet tea bag on the ground.
Yeah, that sucks.
Fair, you're a nice person, Tom.
Yeah,
not a
it's all
rowdy
wet.
party goer. Let's see what Robbie's got in store for us. Robbie, come into a
Robbie,
mic and tell
yeah.
us. He's going straight into it.
He's going to
We
drag
discussed
his
it
nipples.
beforehand. Robbie is lifting up his shirt and he's going to drag his nipples on the carpet and we're not going to vacuum it after. He's
doing it.
like a dog on heat. Do the worm, Robbie. Do the very sexualized R18 plus worm. Oh my God, that was unsexy.
You're so long. You're such a long person.
Two Robbies and we need more room.
Oh, wow.
All over the place. You can actually see his nipple marks in the carpet. There you go, right there. Two side by side. All right.
All right, Jordan, what are you going to be doing?
The creme de la creme.
Oh, my... I don't like this one.
Max claims that he listens to this podcast. I'm a skeptic of that theory. Every time he's ever spoken to me about the pod, he's always said, "Oh, so you started the podcast? Yeah, I listen when I can, man. It sounds really good." What sounds really good,
crap.
Max? What? Well, I wonder if this sounds good to you, Max. I have taken the toilet roll that is downstairs.
That's currently on the roll.
I'm leaving tomorrow. I've already done my dookie for today. I'm not going to be touching this. I'm going to put the toilet roll tissues between my butt cheeks and then put it straight back on the rack.
Oh, God. It's so much more extreme than this. You always do this.
Yeah, I've been known to take it too far, and today is no exception. It is the
Season
only
2.
time that Max's parents have ever had a stern talking to me is when we started playing a game called Punishment Poker, which was basically just jackass, and whoever lost had to do something really extreme. I always came up with a really extreme idea.
What was it that
I
made
haven't
him
learned
get
my
mad?
lesson.
Yeah, so do. All right, Jordan's taking his pants down now. Oh,
Here we go.
God.
Just to
I said I didn't
clarify,
want to see this.
Tom,
So his ass
this my ass?
Yes, fully open and looking at us.
yeah, eyes everywhere,
I
all
told you I
over
didn't
my
wanna
body.
watch
I'm
it.
staring straight
All
at
right.
Tom with it.
Yeah, okay,
I
put it
don't
away.
steal anything, Tom. I've got an eye on you.
He's like holding his bum as though the bum's talking. Just do it.
You don't know that it can't. I'm just
do you
an
mean you didn't
excellent
realise we had to watch it?
ventriloquist. My bum always does the talking.
Robbie was really supportive of this idea. I didn't, and now he's like leaving the room pretty much.
Sorry, Robbie, while my ass is in the air and I've pointed it straight at you.
Just do it.
And I've just
do
noticed
it.
in the mirror that my nads are hanging out of my pants. Robbie, come on.
Just do it.
Robbie, come on.
What do you mean?
Robbie, come over to the mic. Tell people. No,
Yeah, you don't have to do it. You just have to do it to Jordan.
just tell us.
Just get the toilet paper and do it to him, please.
Put it in between. Put it in between, Robbie. Go! The pot has dead!
He's wiping his ass.
My bum!
Joke's on Robbie.
That was not a plan!
Max didn't even know about it. We just wanted you to wipe Jordan's ass.
That's the end of the pod. Man, how are we going to get more extreme than that? My God, Robbie is my right-hand man, literally. Good night, everyone.